everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today we are going to be doing a first impressions of Undone Beauty. And Undone Beauty is a pretty new clean beauty brand and they are carried at Ulta. So I actually placed a curbside pickup order and picked up a whole bunch of these products at Ulta. While this brand has ingredients that I feel more comfortable with than like conventional beauty brands, the ingredients in these, some of the products are not entirely my favorite. I would classify this brand in a similar way to how I classify Jason Wu Beauty, which is that, yeah, the ingredients are better than some of the conventional brands, but not as great as some of the other clean beauty brands on the market. But I do want to try out and talk about these brands because I realize that everyone's standards for clean beauty are different. I'm not here to tell you what you should use or what you shouldn't use. What I'm here to do is try out products and let you know what works, what doesn't work, what my thoughts are. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I haven't tried any of these products out. I just got them yesterday and I'm so excited to put them on and try them out for you guys. Before I jump in, be sure to click that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers in August. We're super close. So if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, go ahead and do so. And also if you think you subscribed, but YouTube may have unsubscribed you, go ahead and check and make sure you are subscribed. Also click the bell button so you're notified of when I post new videos. And come follow me on Instagram. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirlkat there. So let's go ahead and roll right in. So one of the things that impressed me about Undone Beauty, first off, was they have a super wide range of products. Like they pretty much launched everything at once. There's foundation, there's concealer, there's, eyeshadow products, lip products, brow products. I didn't pick up every single product in the line because there are a lot of products, but I did pick up a lot of them. And one of the other great things is the price point. Like this is very much a drugstore price point. And I know that Clover by Clove & Hallow is launched at a more drugstore price point. I would say that's like a more higher end drugstore price point, but I feel like Undone Beauty and also Jason Wu are kind of at the lower end of drugstore pricing. So there's that. But yeah, let's go ahead and put some of these on. I guess I should start with the foundation, which hopefully this shade is a good shade for me. I picked up the shade 410 Porcelain Light, but I did have a bit of a mishap with my order pickup. I'm gonna do a hopefully quick little story about what happened here. So my local Ulta is not that great. I've also had the conclusion that my local Target is not that great. We live in an area that's very densely populated and there are just a lot of people and we do not understand why we do not have like good stores. Like to get good stores, you either need to go like downtown into Boston or you need to go all the way out to some of the further out suburbs. And so my Ulta didn't carry Undone Beauty in stores at all, but the Ulta over in Framingham did. And normally I wouldn't drive to Framingham to do an order pickup, but we happened to be going to disc golf over in Worcester. My husband and I have taken up disc golfing. I am not at all good at it, but I am trying. So we went to the disc golf course out by Worcester, and Framingham was on the way back and forth to Worcester. So we stopped, pick these up. But when I did the order pickup, the only mishap I had with my order pickup was the foundation. They fortunately gave me the right shade, but they gave me the wrong foundation formula, which is they gave me the glow tint foundation. I wanted the matte foundation because I have oily skin. So we're going to be trying this out today because I got all the way back home before I realized the mistake. And I didn't want to drive all the way back out to Framingham again. So this is the right shade, which is the most important thing. Well, hopefully this is the right shade, but this is the shade I ordered. So we're gonna find out what we think of this. But if I like it at all, I think I will pick up the matte one because honestly it wasn't that expensive, but we're gonna see how this goes. But if I look real dewy by the end of the day today, that's why. It's the fault of this foundation. Now you should be able to see me a bit better. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply the shade. Yeah, I'm happy with this shade. This is not too bad. And they actually had a couple shade options over in the light end of the shade range. I'm not sure that this brand has the best shade range. In fact, it doesn't, but it is better than some brands I've seen in terms of shade range. All right. I think this is supposed to be more of a sheer foundation. Yeah, this is definitely, well, I didn't put that much on. It's definitely more on the sheer side. So I think we're gonna need some more product. you know what? I'm actually really happy with how this foundation looks. I feel like it looks really nice on my skin. It helped to even out the redness. It's definitely more on the sheer light coverage side, but that makes sense because it's described as a glow tint, an unfoundation, a glow tint. Honestly, I don't find it to be too glowy. I thought we were going to be dealing with a bit of an oil slick situation. So far, I'm happy with the level of dewy glowiness. These could be very famous last words from me. The shade was really good. Yeah, I'm really happy so far. I really like this. The next product we're going to be using is the UNDONE Beauty Conceal to Reveal palette. This is also in the shade 410 Porcelain Light. So I feel like this looks a little bit darker than the foundation. We'll see when I actually get it on. To my understanding though, there's this product and also their blush that I feel like is supposed to have like 3 different levels of pigmentation. There's like 3 lines of concealer. And to my understanding, there's supposed to be like different levels of pigmentation, which is a very interesting concept. I think this bottom one down here is the most pigmented one, and then this one is the most sheer one, which is kind of nice. It like gives you the ability to adjust your concealer, which if this works, I could get behind because like you may not want as much coverage under your eyes, but you may need more coverage for a breakout. This could work. Let's take the middle level and put that under my eyes. Okay, this shade is good. We're happy with this shade. The one thing I worry about though is this concealer feels very, very creamy, and we'll see how many times I mention this in this video, but I have extremely oily skin, and that can be a problem sometimes. Okay, this is definitely working well. It's concealing, the dark spots under my eyes. It's blending out nicely. I just worry about whether or not it's gonna crease on me crazily throughout the day. So far, I'm happy with that. We will see how that goes. I did apply a little bit of the concealer to a few places around my face where I did have a little bit of redness. Really don't have that many active breakouts at the moment, which is nice. The one nice thing is the concealer shade is very much the same shade as the foundation. So I felt like it blended together really well, which can always be a problem if you're trying to conceal like breakouts or redness. You want your concealer to really blend well with your foundation. I felt like it did it. So I think the big question for me is going to be, is it too emollient? Is it too creamy? Is it going to slide around on my face, or is it really going to stay in place well? I picked up actually 2 blush products and I'm not entirely sure which one I'm going to use today. Well, actually, I think I may use this one because I think it'll actually match better with my shirt I have on. But I picked up the Lip to Cheek palette. The idea is that there are 3 kind of different levels of pigmentation in the product. I just find that so interesting. Like, why has nobody really done that before? I have no idea. And then I also picked up the water blush in the shade Raspberry. And that comes in this like twist up packaging and looks like this. But even though this is a really pretty color, and I think I will love this coming in the fall, I'm just not entirely sure that this is going to go well with my outfit. Oh yeah, look at that. I've got a little bit swatched on my finger right there of the water blush. That is really, really pretty. But I don't think that is going to be the best with what I'm currently wearing. So for that reason, let's try this out. Let's go with the middle one. I feel like the middle is safe here. Let's see what we're doing here. That's a pretty color. That's a very nice, natural flush color. I realized I can take the kind of less pigmented shade and kind of blend backwards a little bit. That's a nice addition there. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I feel like that blended nicely. And it's a really pretty shade. I'm going to take a little bit of the least pigmented one and put it on my nose. I feel like, I don't know, I've been trying the blush on the nose trend. I'm not entirely sure I like it because I feel like it just looks like the redness on my nose and I'm trying to conceal with foundation, but I've been trying it anyway. You'll have to let me know your thoughts on that. Do you like the blush on the nose trend? I feel like it's a nice level of pigmentation. I really like the shade. It blended easily. The only thing is it's a little tacky. It's not too tacky, but it's a little tacky. So want to see how the blush wears too, because I know, especially having oily skin, that my skin can really eat blush. So I did get a setting powder. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to use this under my eyes or not. I need to see what's going to happen with the shade. This is the Under Over setting powder in the shade Light. And that's what I'm worried about, is sometimes if I put setting powders that are too deep under my eyes, it really deepens my concealer, and I am just not in the mood for that today. Okay, the shade doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to start by powdering the rest of my face, see how that turns out, and then figure out if I want to use this under my eyes or not. Maybe the better test to use under my eyes, but you know what I mean. Let's see what we're doing here. We'll try this under the eyes. Why not? We'll just try this and see what happens. I feel like it is setting things down well. We will have to see though. And I feel like the blush stayed in place pretty well. I did powder over it just because it was feeling a little tacky, but I feel like the color has faded a little bit, but I still do see the blush on my cheeks. If we need to add some more, I'll go back in and add a little bit more on top of the powder. They do have a cream highlighter. However, I didn't pick it up. I looked at the two shades and I looked at them swatch, and it was pretty obvious to me that these shades were too deep for my fair skin. And if you watch my channel at all, I cannot stand highlighters that are too deep for your skin tone. It's like the complete opposite of what a highlighter should be. So I did not pick those up. However, I did pick up this bronzer, and I think Tati actually talked about this bronzer recently. This is the Warm Up Bronzer, and it's really interesting in that there are like two matte bronzer shades up here and then two kind of like highlightery shades. I may try and use one of these as a highlighter. I'm not sure about the bronzer shades. Honestly, they look deep for my skin tone, and I'm pretty sure there was just like one shade of this, which is not sufficient. We need more shades. It's not a one shade fits all kind of situation here. So, wow, these highlighters are like super intense. I just swatched them on my finger right there. Those are pretty crazy highlighters. The gold one is definitely too deep. I'm going to take a little bit of the more champagne shade and put that on my cheekbones. Although I have to say, I'm like not as much into the intense highlight as I used to be. So I'm just going to be kind of sparing with this here. Okay, this is working. This is working. It's okay. I mean, you can see it's a pretty highlight, but I just have really gotten into cream highlights. I feel like you can just get such a natural glow from cream highlights. It's really hard to achieve with powder highlights. And for that reason, I've really been favoring cream highlights. So it's nothing really wrong with this highlighter. It's more just like my personal preference. I think that cream highlighters look better, and I'm disappointed that the shades of the cream highlighter in the brand are not going to work if you have very fair porcelain skin. I'm a little bit nervous to try this bronzer. I feel like this is not going to work. Oh my gosh, this one is orange, and that one is really deep. This is just straight up orange down here, and this one is really deep. I guess there's no way this is going to end well. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm just trying to take like the littlest bit of that deeper shade, but I think I'm just, now I gotta match it up here, don't I? Ugh. Okay, you know what, this deeper shade, if you take the tiniest bit, is not awful. But I would much rather just have a shade that's a better shade match for me and not really need to worry about it. Because now I've got to be really careful about blending this and getting this to look good. Yeah, this product is not my favorite. So now it is time for us to move on to brows. This is the Flaw Lush Brow. These aren't even a pencil. It reminds me of like an eyeliner. It's like a felt tip brow pencil. I guess that's the best way to describe it, on one end. And then a brow gel on the other end, which I normally lean towards using brow gels exclusively. I think I will try and use this like felt tip guy a little bit kind of on the outer edge of maybe this brow, maybe a little bit on this brow. But I don't want it to look too intense. And I feel like my brows have really been growing in nicely. And so that's why I've really just been using brow gel, but we're gonna try. I also hope the shade is okay. I have the shade neutral brown, but the shade range wasn't great. They had like a blonde, and then I felt like all the browns looked kind of deep and there wasn't much in between. So that was not great. Oh my gosh, I'm like actually nervous about this. I should have swatched this first. Okay, actually the shade is pretty close to what my brow shade is. Okay. I'm gonna lean in a little bit here closer to my mirror so I can not completely mess this up. You know what? I did not think I was gonna say this, but this is one of the easiest products to make hair-like strokes I've ever used. I've never had this kind of luck making hair-like strokes. Like I always hear people being like, oh, hair-like strokes for your brows. And I'm like, what do you mean? And this product, like, because the tip is so thin, I feel like I can actually kind of do that. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of the brow gel in, and hopefully that doesn't just smear everything I just did. That's what I kind of worry about, but we will find out. This is a really nice small smooth spoolie. Almost called it a smoolie. A spoolie for the brows, which I like. I don't like big spoolies because then you're trying to fit this big spoolie into your little brows. The tint is there on this brow gel. You can see I got a little bit up high. I'm gonna have to clean up. The tint is there, but I'm worried that the formula is too liquidy and is not gonna give any hold. And I just have quite a bit of brow hair and I really need some hold. That's why I like the Kosas brow gel and the Pacifica brow gel so much, because they provide a nice amount of hold. And I can just tell from this formula, it just feels really liquidy, which feels like it's gonna tint my brows nicely, but not actually hold these hairs in place, which is what I need. Maybe I'll be wrong, maybe it'll surprise me, but on first impression, that's kind of my thought, is this might be a little bit too liquidy. But I actually really like the other end, the like kind of pen end of it. Okay, I'm gonna clean up these little swatches I've gotten now from some Rogue brow gel, and then we're gonna move on to eyes. Just in that like few seconds of cleaning, I feel like they're already drooping. So I think that brow gel really just provides tint and not hold, which if this had been more hold, this could have been like a really nice brow product because it would have been an all-in-one product. Undone Beauty did come out with a number of eyeshadow palettes. They have a whole bunch of kind of like minis. This is a little quad. I have the quad in outfit optional. They did have bigger palettes, and I actually did want to purchase one of the larger palettes. However, they were only available online and not in store, and I was able to pick this up in the store, so I just went with this one. I figured this would give us a good test of the formula anyway. They had a whole bunch of different colorways. I just went with this one because this seemed like a very cat colorway. I mean, granted, it's pretty neutral in tone, but you know, I'm trying to be very mindful about purchasing things that I really will use. And I'm like, this is something, if it's good, I would use. So that's what we're gonna do here. I do wanna say a quick note. I will talk about this more in a future video, but I am gonna be using the Root Eye Primer. I forgot who recommended this to me. Someone recommended this as a good replacement for the Aaron's Faces Eye Primer, which unfortunately has been discontinued, at least for now. And okay, this is not quite the Aaron's Faces Eye Primer because nothing will ever compare to that. However, so far, this is the best eyeshadow primer I have found after that one. So if you're in the need of an eyeshadow primer and weren't able to pick up that one, this one is a good one. So I am going to be using that on my eyes today. These shadows feel really nice. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is take this shade right here and apply that kind of across my lid. Oh, this is super, these shadows are super buttery. I hope though that these do not cause any sort of allergic reaction. I always get a little nervous when testing on new eyeshadows because I have some sensitivity to ingredients in eyeshadows, which is actually the main impetus of why I switched into clean beauty, is because of that. So hopefully these are not irritating. But that is a beautiful, beautiful shadow formula. Wow, that is just spreading around on my eye like butter. Whew. Okay. I will now grab a brush and grab some of this shade right here, which is a matte shade, and put that in my crease. That is blending so well. I'm going to throw a little bit of this deeper shade just on the outer corner here just to deepen things up. This is going so much better than the Jason Wu eyeshadow palettes. Oh my goodness. If these do not irritate my eyes, I will highly recommend them because it was very affordable and the formula on this is just, this is what you want. Wow. That eyeshadow look was so quick and so easy and looks really, really good. Okay, I am impressed. Actually, should I use that light? I should use that lightest shade. Hold on. I feel like I'm gonna cheat you guys if I don't use this full palette. Let me grab a small brush. I'm not gonna exactly put this in my inner corner because I actually don't do inner corner highlights anymore. But I'm just gonna put it kind of on this part of my lid just to brighten it. Does anyone actually do inner corner highlights anymore? I have questions. Let me know if you still do. I used to be like very religious about doing that, and then I kind of just fell off the bandwagon. So far I don't feel like itching, which is a good sign because that normally starts like fast. I mean, obviously, if you're allergic to something, you feel it pretty quickly. Okay, so I didn't pick up a mascara. They did have two, but I don't know. I just was not in the mood to pick up another mascara because I have quite a few at the moment. But I did pick up something which is going to be kind of surprising if you have been watching my channel for a while, and that is an eyeliner. And I normally don't even wear eyeliner. Like, that's not me at all. However, what got me was the tip on this thing. I was just like, this is so interesting. I have to try this out. And this is where things are going to go wrong because I love my eye look at the moment, and this is probably going to send it in a terrible direction. This is the unscripted liner in the shade Deep Charcoal. I wish that they had provided instructions with this eyeliner because you get this weird tip and there are no instructions actually provided on here, so instructions would have been helpful. I also have hooded eyelids. Why did I think this was a good idea? This is why I don't wear eyeliner. Okay. I think you can use it kind of like this to tightline. Actually, am I getting any product out? Oh, I don't really like this. It's like kind of watery. Do you see that? Oh, this is weird. I literally feel like it's doing nothing. I tried to stamp it on the outer corner of my eye over here, and you like actually can't see anything because it didn't show up. Look. There's just like nothing to see. Yeah, this is very much a flop. Like just a full-on flop. It is too watery. And I don't know if it's the shade because I got the shade Charcoal, but yeah, it's just like not a good product. It's not showing up and way too watery. Like, I'm not even an eyeliner expert, and I can tell that is not a good situation. Let me throw on some mascara and then we'll be back to talk about lips. Okay, so I did pick up 3 lip products, which obviously I can't really try them out all at once in this video, but I am going to swatch them so we can get an idea of what they are and what they're like. The first one I have here is this is described as a light on lip. I think this was supposed to be kind of like lip balm. I have the shade Honey Rose, which looked better online than it does in person. In person, it is pretty brown, which is just not a shade that I reach for. So that was a bit of an error on my part. As soon as I saw it, I was like, Kat, why did you think that was a good shade? So This is pretty brown, so I definitely will not be putting that one on today. The next product I have is this. It's a matte talk lipstick in the shade Velveteen. I'm actually really curious about this. I have been into more kind of matte lip products recently. This is the shade. Oh gosh, why did I swatch them here on my arm where I like can't actually twist it around? This is the shade Velveteen, and that's a really pretty shade. I'm curious about the formula. I've definitely been reaching for more matte shades recently, especially with wearing masks. You know, it's just an easier kind of lip product to have on, especially if you're taking your mask on and off. On application though, that didn't seem that matte, so maybe it's one of those ones that's kind of more creamy and then becomes more matte. Okay, and then the last one here is a Forever Lip, and I have the shade Neutral Nude, and I forgot how this is supposed to work. I think there's like a lip liner on one side and then a stain on the other. Let me see. Yes. I think that's how it works. I think this side here is supposed to be more of a liner, and then the other side is supposed to be more of a stain. We'll try this out. I could regret this. This is so weird. I got the lip liner to show well on my bottom lip, but it does not have an interest in showing up on my top lip. Not loving that. Let's try the other end of this. If all fails, I'll put the other lipstick on top of this. This is a weird product. I'm not really sure I like it either. I was able to get color on my lips, and it honestly looks better than the Victoria Beckham lip stain. I despise that product. It looks awful on me. It just looks patchy. So this actually gave me more color, and I was able to get more of a uniform color, but it still looks a little weird and kind of patchy. I like the shade of the actual stain. Like, that's a nice shade, but it just looks messy, and I don't like that about it. So I'm actually gonna top this off. I know now we're gonna get all sorts of weird combinations going on here with this Velveteen matte lipstick, just because I'm not happy with how this looks. I actually really like that shade. I don't know if it's now a combination of what I had on underneath it, but I do like this shade. I think it's really pretty and unique and something that I don't have in my collection. So that's nice. Yeah, so I like this one in Velveteen. I do feel like getting more matte. I think it kind of goes on a little bit more creamy and then dries down a bit, which I like. That's a very nice formula. So let me quickly summarize. I'll just hit on the products that I just like flat out do not recommend. The first one being this eyeliner. No good. The next one being this product here. It is strange. I don't think it's worth the money, even though it wasn't that expensive. And then the next one being this bronzer situation. It's just kind of weird. It either is going to work for you shade-wise or really not work for you. And I just don't want to recommend it for that reason. So overall, though, I am happy with how my makeup is looking. I think I was able to get a really nice look together. I am happy with, especially the foundation, the concealer. I feel like I have a really good base. The blush is still looking really lovely. The eyeshadows went on beautifully. So far, I'm not having any sensitivity. Overall, I am pretty impressed. It is on the more affordable price point. Some of these products have ingredients that are not my favorite, not things I would love to use on a daily basis. Other ones I am okay with, and I realize that for you, they all might be okay. Like, it just depends on what you're looking for. So let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this review. Also, let me know if there are other brands kind of like this one that you'd be interested in me reviewing, because I know CoverGirl has like their clean line, and there's, you know, brands kind of like Glossier, Milk Makeup, that kind of like on the edge of clean beauty. Do you have any interest in those? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. And once again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, come follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye.